Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, and today I'm welcoming a new friend to the show. And I have to warn you, his Chinese is really already very good. So we're going to use a lot more Chinese in today's show comparing to previous Takeaway Chinese. And I hope for the sophisticated learners, this is going to be a huge treat.So, welcome, Vitor Moura. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, my name is Vitor Moura, as you mentioned, or Victor, or waiter in Chinese.
It's Vitor or Victor, both?
Okay, so the truth is, there's no
C.Right? I call you Vitor, yeah.
Yeah, there's no C. However, I did realize after being abroad that because Victor with the C or K or whatever is a common name in many places.
Yes.
So I just put the C there to make it easier because Vitor, it has the R sound in the end and is a trouble for a lot of people. So I'd rather just put the C. My mom doesn't like it.
You can do that.
I did change my name to be more convenient. Yes, it's true.
But I can call you Vitor.
Well, yes, because you're above the average, But the thing is that a lot of people have.
You're very flexible with your name.
Oh yeah, I don't. Really
How about your Chinese name?
It's called 魏特.
Yeah. Okay, so I have already bragged about your Chinese. So introduce yourself a little bit in Chinese.
Okay, 大家好，我叫魏特，我是来自于巴西，已经在中国可能是快10年了，然后7年半在上海工作，然后现在刚好在北京，可能1年半，已经1年半了，对，差不多。
Okay, when you say 我可能在中国已经快10年了, that sentence, it's really not clean in the sense of grammatically because you don't really need all those, but that's very colloquial, that's very fluent, and that's very, very Chinese.
But it's grammatically wrong.
It's not wrong. It's more like you don't really need the 可能已经You know. But yeah, that's the thing about Chinese. When we talk in our daily lives, sometimes we would put in some words that do have meanings. For example, 可能 means probably.
Right.
已经 already. 快 almost. So you see the 可能 and 快, it's kind of like similar. You're just trying to blur the actual time and soften the tone. But that is what's happening in daily Chinese settings.
It is.
You would put some of these words to soften your tone, to sound less assert, yet it's not for the purpose of making the information less clear. It's just to soften the tone, more like talking in everyday language.
This is very interesting that you say because I never thought about it this way. And it is true.
Yeah.
This is very daily life Chinese, and you try to sort of... 低调, how to say, like low key, put everything down,
kind of on
consciously
purpose.
Or unconsciously,
yes,
I don't know, but
yes, yes.
But you're right.
So when we say Chinese is a high context language, it's both because one word can mean a lot of things, and in Chinese we would encourage people to read between the lines.
Yes.
Because you want to be subtle, you do not want to sound too aggressive. If you only use very precise information in an everyday conversation, it sounds a bit too aggressive and it's not, like you said, nice or 低调 enough.
Yes,
but yeah, that's kind of like the next level Chinese. You're on the next level Chinese.
But no. I'm really not. But now that you mentioned, if I may say so, I just feel like in Chinese, and I'm sharing my experience, right? I just feel in Chinese, like sometimes if you are too direct, it may be understood as a little bit rude in a sense.
Yes.
So maybe I could say, like, for example, the sentence that I just said, I said 可能已经快, but I put all these words together. I could have said 我已经在中国10年了.
If you say that, it's okay because you're a foreigner.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, depending on the context, it might come out a little bit aggressive.
Yes.
So that is why, maybe that's why I do it. As a feeling I have.
It just makes me realize that, that's what we do. And when you do it, for me, it stands out.
Right. Okay, I see.
所以你在中国已经快10年了。
对，没错。
那为什么会来中国啊？
我当时我找到工作才来。
So where did you learn your Chinese?
After I came.
After you came.
After I came, yes. I worked in this tech company for 1 year. And after that, I started my own company working import-export. And when I did that, that was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And when I did that, you start to travel frequently to smaller cities in China. So I was living in Shanghai, and then you start to go to smaller places. And then when you go to the smaller places, there's less and less people that speak English, obviously. So learning Chinese became a necessity. Yeah. And that's pretty much how it happened.
那你怎么学的呢？是找了老师学还是自学？
就是我用过各种各样的办法。
Oh, really?
对。
Different methods.
I did go to class for a while. Never full-time. I was never a full-time student.
Oh.
So almost like, I don't know, twice a week, something like this. I had Chinese friends help me out, but basically I brainwashed myself. You know what I mean? It's like
How'd you brainwash yourself with
like I changed my phone to Chinese, my computer to Chinese, even without understanding anything. I was like, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it, and then I'll figure it out on the go. You know, basically that's how it happened. And now that I am studying, and the course is in Chinese, and now I'm being confronted with the reality of actually getting into the grammar part and knowing how to structure like a long text in Chinese, which is very different from what I was doing. So I've reached fluency in terms of daily life communication. But now, for example, I just finished my first thesis in Chinese this weekend, and it took a lot more time than I thought. You know what I mean? So
How long was it?
It took me an entire day.
And
Just to write it. The research was done. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, just the writing, it took me an entire day, which is usually not
How long is the passage?
like 3,000 characters.
It's not,
So it's not big.
bad, but it's not bad.
It's not, yeah. But,
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but let's just say, like, if it was for
In
a small, if
English,
it was in English,
or-
I'll be done in like 3-4 hours. Just a juguliz, you know, because it's just like. And I keep a secret to myself, but I will share with the audience because I think this is a very distinctive show. I never learned how to handwrite properly.
Ah,
Yes.
so you only type.
I only type. And that, but like my
It's
handwriting.
okay. I'm losing my handwriting ability already, so it's not a big deal.
But this is one thing for the learners, because my Chinese learning process was completely focused on daily life necessity. Handwriting was never a necessity. And it's not a necessity in China for
Not
99% of the
anymore.
time.
Yeah.
So, and for a foreigner here, whenever you have to handwrite something, you can always find somebody to help you out, you know? So you really don't need like to fill a form or something.
We're sharing a lot of things about the Chinese learning today in this episode.
Yeah,
and
I'm
we've
so-
never done it before.
Should I speak?
No
live?
worries. I think it's really great.
I get excited.
I think you did a really good job, because previously we focused on the expressions, words, characters. Sometimes we would even share how the character came into being, the
Okay.
origin of certain characters. But for today's, at least these two takeaways, the one that you not on purposely mess up the message a little bit in your
Yes.
Chinese sentences, that's one thing. That's what we actually do in China here.
Right.
And also the second thing about not needing to learn to handwrite characters. Even if you need to write something, you can always type it on your computer and
Yeah.
just something like that. It's also okay. So I think these are important info for whoever is listening. So that's you in China and your experience and learning and everything. In the meantime, I'm actually very curious about your country, Brazil, 巴西. It's
Very
really
far.
really, really far. 我没有去过巴西哎。
对，很多人就基本上都没去，
巴西一定有很多好吃的
算是有吧。
啊。
I'm not a very foodie person.
You're
but
not?
I am not. Yeah.
Oh, I am a really foodie person. I say I have a 食物脑.
Oh, okay.
Can you understand
okay,
what it
yes.
means?
You only think about food. So
It's not what I only think about, but it has a really high priority in my head.
it takes up a huge part.
A huge part. And
Yeah.
also, the thing is, in Chinese, we recently had this expression of 恋爱脑. Have you heard of it?
再说一遍。
恋爱脑. 恋爱.
Yes, of course. I'm
no.
just trying to put it together.
Yes. The idea is that for a 恋爱脑, nothing is more important than the relationship. So they would mess up their career for it.
Oh.
They would leave out their friends out of their, everyday social circle
Okay.
because they've got a new relationship.
Oh,
It's
they'll put-
something that we don't like.
Okay, it's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
It's
If
a
you
bad thing,
accuse
okay.
someone of having a 恋爱脑, then you're saying you think about only your romantic relationship and nothing else. It's a
Right.
bad thing. And that makes me, ponder on my 食物脑 a little bit. So I have a brain head. That means when I'm happy, I need to go out, find something great to eat, to celebrate.
Do you put food above everything else?
Not everything else, but
Most of the things?
put food adjacent to everything I have. It's like when I'm sad, I eat. When I'm happy, I eat. When I need to celebrate, I eat. And when I, go out with friends, we eat.
Oh.
Something very important to me. So I have to ask, 如果有一天我去巴西旅行或者出差，我在巴西可以吃到中餐吗？
可以啊，那肯定的。
真的吗？很多吗？巴西的中餐？
我觉得没有那些就是在巴西中国人移民到巴西的那种人，没有美国欧洲那么多，但是算是有的。就是有一个可能 something that most people don't know that I can share. Brazil has a lot of Japanese immigrants.
Oh, really?
Yes, from the 40s, 50s. But now, so they're now 4 generations down. So Brazilian people, especially from my city in São Paulo, they're all very used to Asian food in general.
That's actually something that I only learned when I was traveling in Europe. I stayed in Brussels for a while,
right.
And I realized that after a while, you stop looking for Chinese food. You start looking for Asian food.
Yes, yeah.
They're still similar comparing to the food from other continent.
Well, yeah, of course. The region has similarities.
So
like sometimes you're looking and like if you find Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Chinese, like you just get it out of yourself because you just want to eat it, right? You just want some noodles or something. And, and in Brazil, so a lot of people from my city, for example, they know how to use chopsticks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We eat a lot of sushi because it's a Japanese influence.
Yes.
But later on, what I wanted to say this is like later on, there's this huge wave of Chinese immigrants that also came. So Chinese food is also very popular.
I'm very glad because with myself, I don't know, maybe I'm aging. Maybe I've already tried a lot of different cuisine in different places, which resulting in this interesting phenomenon that we sometimes say, 我的中国胃, my Chinese stomach. It's kind of like saying, yes, I can enjoy local food. I can enjoy exotic cuisine for a while, but
at some point,
I need to take care of my Chinese stomach. I need to have a little bit of Chinese food.
Right.
It's like the little biscuit. It's like the little biscuit you have in between different very nice, great cheese, but you still kind of need that little biscuit.
Right. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. It's like, and sometimes it's like, that's what Chinese food became to me as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I miss Chinese food when I'm not abroad, and I'm not saying this just to be nice because I'm here. It's true.
Yeah,
it
but
is true.
Even though I am the one who's having a food brain, 食物脑, I still feel like food is one of the most important part in one's life. We
kind of do it every day.
We kind of do it every day.
Yeah.
And also it's also kind of the way that you get into another culture.
That is so true. Yeah.
So the kind of Chinese food in Latin America culture would be the theme of today. It might sound a little bit specific, yet trust me, once you finish listening to this episode, you will definitely learn a lot. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 我计划去巴西旅行，有什么美食推荐吗？巴西的美食有的是，你可以试试黑豆饭，味道浓郁。哇，听起来不错。顺便问一下，你们那里的中餐厅多吗？当然，很多中餐也融入了我们当地的特色，值得一尝。Precisely the conversation we had.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure this person also has a 中国胃, a Chinese stomach.
Probably. But like her, I'm assuming she did a research to get this, and like the research is correct. As I mentioned, there's a lot of fusion nowadays.
That's right.
Especially in São Paulo, which is the biggest city.
Yeah, we can talk about fusion as well, because I think whenever a local cuisine travel to outside of their local area, especially to a whole different culture, it would definitely do a lot of localize. We say 本地化.
Yes, of course. It gets adapted, right? And it's like, I have something very controversial to say. And I 纠结了很久. And I decided to say it anyway.
Yes.
Brazil is an immigrant country, as probably some people know. Similar to the US in this aspect. However, Brazil does a very good job from the different people to getting together and becoming Brazilians as a huge society. But one thing that I would say is like we actually adapt not only the country but also the food. So one thing that we got a lot of European immigrants as well. And the best food, the best pizza I've ever had was in Brazil.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's like we have the best pizza. I'm just shooting this out there. I know I'm going to make a lot of enemies, but it's okay because life is only one. So it's like, yes, we have the best pizza.
Okay, so one thing is I definitely would love to try in the future in Brazil, try some pizza. And also I'd like to invite an Italian guest into the studio to combat with you.
Yeah, but just be ready. He's going to be very angry. I'm pretty sure we have the best sushi too, but I have never been to Japan, so I don't know. But I have been to Italy, and yes, we have the best pizza.
I think, okay, I'm going to play a little bit.
Was it too sensitive to say this?
No, it's fine. I was just trying to say the reason you think the best pizza is from Brazil is probably because it fits to your appetite. It fits to the kind of taste that you enjoy the most.
Of course.
It shows that whoever's making the best pizza in Vitor's world is doing a really good job localizing.
Oh, yeah.
本地化做得很好.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Italian people would not agree with you, not because they're holding up to their pride, but because they genuinely enjoy their pizza more. So
it could be. It doesn't change the fact that we have the best pizza. But the explanation, yes, I agree.
Let's see if you also have the best dumpling in your head. But before doing that, let's take a look at the sentences first. Okay, so for the first sentence, 我计划去巴西旅行，有什么美食推荐吗?
So you mean basically that you're planning a trip to Brazil and you're asking me if I have any food recommendations?
Yes. So 我计划, that's I plan.
I plan, yes.
去
To go
to 巴西.
Basi is Brazil.
I always wonder how these country names are translated. I would designate an episode talking about the translation in Chinese of these different country names.
Well, I think in Chinese, there's only two categories. Most of the countries are translated based on the English name.
Sure, but
some of them are not. Some of like a Faguo, for example.
Yeah.
And like a Deguo. That's have a historic reason behind it. Or 日本. Yeah, but it's
Japan.
or Hangul as well. But like most of the countries, I feel is just based on the pronunciation, like Australia, Canada.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah, but the exact transliteration is also interesting. We can find some origins of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So here, 巴西, Brazil. 巴西, and 旅行.
To travel.
To travel. Even though we translate it as travel, actually, it's talking about the kind of personal travel.
Oh, okay.
旅行.
Well, it's not for business.
It's not for business.
Yeah.
Business is definitely 出差.
出差, yes.
Business trip. So, yes, the English translation is travel, yet you cannot use it for 出差.
Right, yes.
So, 旅行. 有, have. 什么?
What?
美食.
Food.
推荐.
Recommendations.
Yes. So, 美食 actually means delicious food, but yes, food.
It's food. Yeah, it's... Well, because May is beautiful.
Yes.
Right? So it's already putting a little bit up there. But like daily life use, the meaning daily life is just talking about food.
And it depends because, for example, in previous times, I can remember when TV was super, super popular among everybody, when watching TV is a must-do, I think there were a lot of 美食频道, so a lot of food channels.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they introduced different types of delicacies in different places.
Yes.
So it's delicious food channel, 美食频道.
Used to be a dream job back in the day, to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to be that person.
Places.
Yeah.
But coming from someone who's actually working as a media profession, I mean, yeah, tasting different food is one thing, but doing a show, it's different. You have to eat the same thing for a lot of times because you have to take a lot of different shots.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like
You
My
still-
my experience with shooting is like it looks a lot of fun. Oh, we're going there to shoot something, but like the practical reality can get really tiring too. You know.
And the 美食 can be a huge plus, making me feel much happier about the shooting though.
Well, if you like it,
Yes.
Let's
if
say
you like it,
let's say you
yeah.
don't like it, then yeah, it's gonna be not that May.
No,
You know?
not that 美 huh? Okay, so 美食 and 推荐 here, it can be a noun, recommendation, or it can be
A verb.
A verb.
Yeah.
你有什么推荐 or 你推荐什么
对
So if it's 你推荐什么 it's a verb. 你有什么推荐 then it's a noun. Yes. 巴西的美食有的是，你可以试试黑豆饭，味道浓郁。
Well, basically, I mean, there's plenty of great food in Brazil, of pretty beautiful food in Brazil.
Beautiful food.
And that you can try feijoada, which is really flavorful, let's say.
Flavorful.
Yeah, it's like let's say it's one of the most, now I'm out of the dialogue already, right? So like feijoada is one of the most traditional dishes, you can put it this way.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so 巴西 we know Brazil, 美食 beautiful food, delicious food, 有的是
Means that I have the recommendations to give it to you.
Actually, it means there are a lot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
something 有的是 is like saying we have a lot of those. It is a kind of a colloquial way of saying it. Maybe you have not encountered this expression just yet. For example, 作业有的是. So there are a lot of homework.
Of homework.
Yeah,
I know.
Or 我这边选择有的是，就看你喜欢哪个了。
Oh, actually, there's a new expression for me. I
It's
never
a new
heard it
expression,
before.
right?
Yeah. 有的
It's
是,
like
yeah.
I have a lot of these, and it always carries the meaning of. It's kind of like saying I have a lot of this, and something is up to you,
Right.
or you can choose either one of those,
Right.
or it's not used singularly. It's not used on itself. It always implies something. For example, if I say 她有的是时间, so she has a lot of time, or 时间她有的是, she has a lot of time. It almost always imply that maybe she does not have money, or maybe it implies something.
But now that you put it in the front, like 他有的是时间 makes sense. Now I understand the meaning. It's like 他有的就是时间. You know, it's like this sort of like
This is something
emphasizing.
that emphasizing
Yeah,
it. But
yeah,
you can also put it at the
At
end,
the
of the
end.
sentence.
Okay,
So
okay.
时间她有的是.
Okay.
她是没有时间吗？她是没有钱. It's not like she doesn't have time. It's the money she's lacking. So
Right.
Usually when you're using this sentence, you're implying something. So if it's just a narration, it's just a statement, then you don't use the expression like this. It carries
Okay.
a certain type of nuance. And also, for example, 上海这么大的城市，工作机会有的是. So for Shanghai, a city this huge, there are a lot of opportunities, but you have to look for them.
Right.
Something
right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you use 有的是. So here, 巴西美食有的是. There are so many, and you just worry about whether or not you have the appetite to try them all. Something like that.
I see, I
implied.
see.
And 你可以试试. You can try.
You can try.
黑豆饭.
Well, that will be the Chinese translation for feijoada, actually.
So what is feijoada?
Can
you describe it?
Yeah, so we use for feijoada, we eat a lot of rice and beans in Brazil. You can usually use either like a brown or black beans. It's different in China because in China they're usually used for dessert, right? So they're like sweet. For us, this is salty. It's actually a dish. It's a 主食. Yeah.
Staple food.
It's a staple food, yeah. And you eat that with the daily life dish. Is not feijoada because that's just too heavy. But like we do eat rice and beans on daily life basis with beef and French fries or salad.
Sure.
However, feijoada specifically is something, a dish that traditionally, at least in São Paulo, people usually eat it on Saturdays. And it's like, there's no religious reason. It's just, I don't know the historic reasons either. Like, it's just what it is. And
Okay.
basically, it's very heavy. So it's the black beans specifically with a lot of pork.
Pork.
So you put it with different parts of the pork. So you have feet, you have everything in there. It's a big cauldron, right? It actually is a big cauldron.
Really?
Yeah, literally. And then you eat it with something we call couve, which is, I don't know how to say in English, but it's a sort of a vegetable, green vegetable, leaves. And you can eat it also with oranges, you know, to make it more acid or something a bit. So, and powder, what we call farofa. which is this small powder. Oh, I'm getting hungry. So yeah, you get the powdery thing on top of it. But basically it's salty, and parts of the country, again, Brazil is very big. So parts of the country also put a lot of pepper inside. So it gets spicy.
I like the spicy version already.
Yes.
Yeah, now I feel like 黑豆饭 does not do it justice.
It doesn't, yeah. The translation is not. Yeah, ironically, fan can means mee fan, which is rice, and sometimes you don't eat it with rice. So,
but now I understand how come it's 味道浓郁, because 浓郁 is like heavy.
Oh yeah,
heavy. And it's with a lot of different flavors, so it's hard to describe exactly if it's savory or if it's just sweet or just spicy. It's a lot of those combined.
It's very 丰富, you know what I mean?
丰富, yes. It's
and
heavy
usually,
and rich.
Yes, and usually you eat at lunch, because if you eat it at night, you're probably going to have trouble sleeping, because that's how full you get. You know, it's going to get super, super full.
I would love to visit
and
try.
Yeah.
Wow. And apparently, the person in the dialogue also said, wow, 听起来不错. It sounds really good.
Yes.
顺便问一下，你们那里的中餐厅多吗？
Now asking me if 顺便 is hard to translate, but it's like well, by the way, let me ask you,
yes.
If there are many Chinese restaurants in Brazil.
Yes, so 顺便 is kind of like, this is not something that is hard to add on what's already there. So 顺 is like 顺, it's smooth, and 便 is 方便, it's convenient.
Yes.
So it's like I have something to tag along to ask you this. So it's kind of like by the way, but stressing the idea that it's something easy. So,
right.
你可不可以顺便帮我拿支笔? So can you bring me a pen? Because you are already visiting the office.
Yeah.
And bring a pen with you is not something you should put a lot of effort in.
Because you're already going to do it.
You're already,
anyway.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's 顺便. It is precisely by the way.
By the way,
yes.
yeah.
And but this is like the by the way that can happen to all scenarios, not only asking a question.
Right. Right.
So that's 顺便. So you can 顺便问一下. I'm asking this one more question. That's not going to cause you a lot of trouble. Or 顺便拿杯水. You can go and get me a glass of water because it's not going to trouble you too much.
Right.
You can also, there's the Chinese expression 顺路.
顺路.
顺路 means basically we're on the same route.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
It's on the way,
so
yeah.
顺路, 我顺路送你吧. I
对.
can drop you by because your
It's on the
home
way.
is on the way. So
回家的路上.
Yes. So that's how you use it. And 你们, that's your. 那里, that's
Where?
Or there.
Or there. Sorry.
哪里 is where. It's
Yes.
okay. 中餐厅.
Chinese restaurant.
You can ask about Chinese restaurant, or you can directly ask about Chinese food. 中餐, Chinese food. So 餐厅 or 中餐厅 is the Chinese restaurants. 多吗? Many or not. 当然，很多中餐也融入了我们当地的特色，值得一尝。
Very good. Basically saying, of course, there's Chinese cuisine already became a part of our local cuisine, and it's worth to try it out.
Yes, I think I asked you whether or not you use 没错 a lot.
Yes, you did.
Do you use 当然?
Not that much.
I use 当然 a lot.
Really?
Personal habit. But I use it in the way that I am being a bit official for small things. So, for example, if people say, can I have a piece of paper? I would say, 当然, of course. In a little bit playful way. So, it's sure.
Yeah, I don't use that much. Not that you asked, I'm trying to think. It's not. But it's a useful one.
It's a useful word.
It means, of course. It's very easy to understand the meaning. It's just, of course. But I don't, It's a habit thing.
It's a habit thing. And if, for example, if someone say, can you bring me, again, a pen? If you say, 可以呀, sure. It's of course, it's natural and it's fine. And if you say, 当然, of course, you're my good friend. I would definitely bring a pen. See, a bit playful.
Yeah, a little bit sarcastic too.
A little bit sarcastic and fun way.
Yeah.
Depending on the personality. But
of course.
Yes, 当然, of course.
Also depends who you're talking to.
Yes. And we have 很多.
很多 many.
中餐.
Chinese food.
Yeah.
Also.
融入.
To blend in.
To blend in.
Yes.
Yeah. So 融 carries the meaning of melt. So 融化. So if the ice is melting, you get to see 融入. It's kind of like the blend.
Because 融 is to enter.
Yeah, and in a relatively thorough way.
So
融合, if we're talking about integrate, you're talking about the kind of integration that happen in smaller and smaller unit. So if it's just two things putting together, then you don't usually use 融, this word or character in the Chinese language. If we think about 融合, it definitely is the kind of mix in very small unit. So it's a very thorough integration.
Right.
And think about food, definitely. If you're borrowing certain way of cooking or ingredient, definitely it's something that's very well blend together. So
Yes,
that
of
the
course,
food is
yeah.
good. Yes. So 融入了我们, that's ours or we or us. 当地, that's local. 特色.
Well, 特色 in this case means our local speciality,
Yes.
let's say. But it doesn't necessarily have to do with food.
No, 特色
This
is
is the
just,
context again.
yes,
You know, yeah.
specialty, 值得一尝.
Worth trying.
Worth trying, precisely worth trying.
Precisely
so,
worth trying.
值得 is worth.
Worth.
And 一尝 is have a try.
Have a try, yeah.
One thing is that 值得一尝 is kind of like a fixed phrase or
Is it 成语吧？
something. 它不是成语，但是它是非常常用.
Okay.
So if you want to say 值得尝一尝, sure, people understand you. But usually in this context, 值得一尝 is the phrase you go to.
Okay. Good to know. Didn't know this one.
So 值得一尝.
Right.
And that is the conversation. Would you like to try the conversation with me?
No, let's
read
do
it
it.
along. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one am I?
You're the one in Brazil, apparently.
Oh, okay. You
I
got
think,
it.
Yeah. 我计划去巴西旅行，有什么美食推荐吗？
巴西的美食有的是，你可以试试黑豆饭，味道浓郁。
哇，听起来不错。顺便问一下，你们那里的中餐厅多吗？
那当然了，很多中餐已经融入了我们当地的特色，值得一尝。
That's really good. You sound more like a Chinese person than I do because I try to enunciate it really clearly. But
And I didn't. I'm sorry.
I love your way of doing it with a little bit accent, like Chinese accent.
Well, yeah, I try to make it more realistic in the sense of how
Yeah.
it would sound, but like I failed miserably. I apologize
No,
to all
I
the
think
audience.
it's great. And you are listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Vitor, who's got a really great Beijing accent. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts by email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about the Chinese food in Brazil and give me more reason to visit. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Vitor. So, tell me, if I ever go to Brazil, what kind of 融合美食 will I be able to enjoy?
Well, again, I would love to emphasize the fact that Brazil is a very big country. So it's like more or less almost same size as China. So like the different regions have different cuisines and different habits, and they change a lot. However, let's say if you go to São Paulo, which is my city and also the biggest center for immigration in the past century, let's put it this way, because it's the economic center, I think you will find a lot of blends with Italian food, Japanese food for sure, and also Chinese food as well, but also lots of Middle Eastern, especially Lebanese food as well. So like we have a lot now that I live abroad. You start to realize actually in daily life in São Paulo we eat food from all over the world, literally.
We do that in Beijing as well.
Yeah, and it is like and now it's so integrated that is interesting to see. And it's like nowadays I'm just asking my Brazilian friends, which are all like non-Asian, let's say this way, and we're all like, let's get some sushi, and like it's so casual, you know what I mean?
Yes.
As it's like we could have sushi or we could have feijoada, like we don't know, you know what I mean? It's like so it becomes really, really normal.
And in that case, because I was doing the research, for me, for example, or any common Chinese, definitely Brazil would be a place we want to visit and everything. We want to do research. But like you said, it's a really far away country.
Yes.
And when we travel, if it's, for example, a personal travel for leisure, then we maybe some people would choose to go to some other Latin American countries as well. So along the way, so we would kind of do the research of the entire area as a whole. So I also get to see that, for example, Chinese food in Peru is a thing. It's even though the physical or geographic distance between these two countries are far, yet they are closely tied when it comes to food. For example, there is the term chifa in Peru.
Chifa.
Yes.
Okay.
And the word chifa in Cantonese means to eat rice. And
吃饭.
Yeah, 吃饭, chifa. And later, the meaning was altered into come to eat rice. Precisely rice.
Right.
And today, you'll find the chifa in the menu of almost every Peruvian restaurant.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. Yeah.
It's something I feel quite interesting. So I guess when we are talking about the kind of Chinese food in Latin America, not only in Brazil or Peru, in all these different countries, you get to enjoy the kind of distinct examples of like one dish that is integrated or integrating these different types of, for example, ingredient or sometimes 就是原料或者做法或者口味. So when I was doing the research, there was this one called Tallarín con pollo.
Yes, Tallarín con pollo.
Yes, it says, according to my research, it is made of special yellow noodles prepared with eggs and chicken. And the other ingredients include Chinese onions, vegetables, ginger, and soy sauce. Also something that I feel like is more common here in China.
But it's also common, at least in Brazil. I mean, I cannot speak for Peru, but in Brazil it's also very common.
Very common. Yeah. This is one of the more spicy dishes of Peruvian culture, and there are multiple variations of the dish available with varying degrees of, Peruvian touch. Is it also common in Brazil?
Yes, yeah, we have like I think soy sauce is a very good example because soy sauce is fully integrated in our cuisine now. Like the way you use it, sometimes we use it for salad, which is definitely not.
I don't use it for salad.
Right, yeah, so we use it for salad, So, and salad definitely doesn't come from China, right? Because we use the raw vegetables, which is usually not very common in traditional Chinese cuisine. The raw vegetables, they're all like steamed or anything else,
boiled,
or fried,
steamed, yes.
But like now, the soy sauce is. So you can go to a restaurant in Brazil that has nothing to do with Chinese cuisine or Asian cuisine, and they have soy sauce on the table.
Great. Yeah. So soy sauce in Chinese, by the way, is 酱油.
酱油. Yes.
酱油. And also by the look of this dish, I feel like it's something that I can have here in China in any Chinese restaurant. It's basically just noodle with a chicken adjacent to it.
Right. Yes. Basically.
It looks.
It's very simple. It's a very simple dish, but it's just amazing. Sometimes simple is good, It's like you don't have the complex things all the time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the reasons that nowadays more and more people would be able to enjoy different food from different places is because the cultural exchange, people to people exchange is getting denser and denser.
That's for sure,
and more frequent. For example, the longest commercial passenger flight from China will take you from China to Mexico City in Latin America. And China Southern Airlines launched its first ever direct passenger flight from the megacity of Shenzhen to Mexico City, which sets the record as the longest non-stop regular commercial flight to originate in China. The flight covers an intercontinental distance of around 14,000 kilometers in each direction, so it's really, really far away, and it takes around 16 hours non-stop to Mexico City. Not really sure if it's something I would choose.
No, yeah.
But if you think about the kind of trip that you have to, stay at an overnight in a different city, then maybe, you never know. Having the choice is good.
Well, yes, I guess it's out there. There's demand for sure.
Yes. And in the meantime, on top of cuisine in Latin America, what would you say is one other thing that you think is very common with like Chinese influence?
In Brazil?
In Brazil.
Chinese influence. I don't know specifically if it's Chinese. Well, we know a lot of, of course we use a lot of things that came from China. So for example, Brazil,
that's one thing.
Yeah, so for example, Brazil is a very big country on fireworks that originally come from China.
Oh, really?
The 鞭炮,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah, of course we have our 巴西话的那个鞭炮, and it's like it's our own style, but like it's you.
Fireworks.
Yes, we have because for especially New Year's, I think everywhere, but in New Year's like the 31st of December.
Yeah, 但是鞭炮和烟花是两个东西哦。鞭炮 is like for the sound, whereas 烟花 is the firework. You have both.
We have both. Yes.
In the air. Beautifully.
No. So we use the 鞭炮 for soccer matches.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so like so you throw them up, but there's no lights. It's just noise.
Yes. We love that. It's very ceremonial.
Yeah, and in Brazil, like we have the 烟花 for New Year's, which is beautiful. But we have the 鞭炮 for football.
Soccer match.
For soccer, yeah.
So cool. How about traditional Chinese medicine?
Well, acupuncture is big in Brazil.
Ah, really?
Yes, acupuncture.
针灸.
Yes, it's very big. It's very big. I never tried myself. No, I knew you were gonna ask. So like I haven't. But my mom used to be big on that. She used to go like every week.
You're in China. Try some in any
I
hospital.
know.
It's even covered by the medical insurance.
I know. No, I did the I forgot how to say in Chinese the cupping thing.
Ah, 拔罐.
拔罐. Yes.
火罐.
Yes, I tried that a few times. It's quite nice. And yeah, I think that is it. So, but acupuncture is very common.
Yeah.
It's very, very common.
It's crazy to think that for two countries that are so far away from each other, we share something so similar and we enjoy culture from each other.
Well, I think people also can remember the fact that these cross-cultural interactions, they've been happening for centuries.
Yes.
Right? I know nowadays is much more convenient.
Yes.
But we didn't start it, right? This has been going on for a very long time, you know.
And that's why we say sometimes we believe the globe is really flat.
Yeah.
The world is just flat. And it's a good thing.
And small.
And small.
And small, yes.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Vitor here in the studio. For more fun episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and a 5-star rating. And finally, let me thank you again, Vitor, for joining the show.
That was my pleasure. Looking forward for the next time.
Looking forward for the next time. You actually bring a lot of very interesting comments and good experience about learning Chinese to our audience. 谢谢 Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.